Hello, this is a review of the Rotring Surf fountain pen. Just got this yesterday and bought it off of eBay for $11, $7 price, and $4 shipping. Um, Comes in a paper sleeve with a plastic case and a velvet sleeve, so you can it's got a little slit in it. I'm not sure if it's velvet, but it's velvety, so you can slide that in. I don't intend to use it, so I'll put that aside for now. Clear plastic top, velvet lined opaque bottom with a little clip. Ooh. And a small ink cartridge. Well, it's a regular size ink cartridge. I believe it's an international, but I haven't checked it. So let's put this away. The pen, I got this blue color. The other color option, believe it or not, was less attractive, but I could not find black or some more non-pastel color, I guess. The pen is made out of plastic. It's not methacrylate. It's not resin. It's, I believe, just inexpensive acrylic. The shape of the pen, it's kind of a regular size pen. I can show you my Caran d'Ache Duna pen. It's about the same size, maybe slightly shorter. It's certainly bigger than my Delta vintage pen, and so I would say it's a medium size pen, medium girth. The barrel tapers a little from the cap down narrower at the end. There's a black domed end here, black ring on the barrel here. The cap has kind of this missile head shape, pointed dome, whatever you want to call it, and a big fat cap ring and a big fat clip. Not particularly a huge fan of this design. And then under the clip here, it says Rotring. Now it's written in all white. Usually the O in the Rotring has a red circle on it, or there is a red ring somewhere, because I believe in German Rotring means red ring. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding. I haven't researched into it. So anyway, very economical looking pen, what I guess you could call student grade, and I bought it because I just I couldn't find my $300 Sailor Professional Gear Rialo pen, and I said, oh, maybe I lost it, and I need to start using some cheaper pens on a daily basis because I have a tendency to leave them around, and if I have more inexpensive pens, I'll probably suffer fewer losses. I'm not sure if I've lost it yet, but anyway. Snap-on, snap-off cap, and it has a little rib here, black contrasting grip. The grip does not necessarily flare towards the nib. In fact, it's opposite. It tapers towards the nib, and then it has this chamfer, almost making this kind of a hooded nib. The feed is more exposed, and the nib is slightly hooded, so it's already a number 4 nib, and with the hooded portion it looks even smaller, but it's kind of a broad-shouldered nib. I have other number 4 nibs that are quite narrow, and I will show you real quick the Caran d'Ache Duna, which is also a number 4 nib, and you can see the width of the nib at shoulders. So I bet the length is about the same of the nib, but this portion is hooded, um, but you can see the width of the Rotring nib is a little more, which makes it kind of look bigger than it actually is. So if you look at the overall proportion, you know, it's a smallish nib, which is not my favorite thing, but then because of the broad shoulders, I kind of like it. So I don't mind this design at all. Uh, just in terms of quality, the workmanship is fine. The materials are cheap. You can see some molding lines on the clip ring here where the plastic was molded. And there is a little dent. You can see right here. So that mark is kind of like a stretch mark where, you know, maybe it got dinged or something, and there's a kind of a mark in the plastic. The plastic didn't hold its shape, if you will, almost. So going back to the grip here, because it's tapered, your fingers can slip down. If you use a lot of pressure, they can slip down. So you can see, I hope I'm exaggerating the demonstration, but you have to be a little mindful of that. But because it's not a gold nib or anything, you're probably not going to try and get a lot of variation out of this nib, and I'll show you how much variation you can get. But so you're probably not going to be using a whole lot of pressure. Under normal pressure, there's no problem. I think when you do apply a little pressure, your hand will, or your fingers will slip onto the nib. So please be mindful of that when if you're thinking about getting this pen. Open it up. Nice smooth operation. It's not, even though it's cheap plastic, it's not, you know, some pens they rattle when the plastic is cheap and the threads are not very good and whatnot. No problems there, but again, I just got it yesterday. Who knows how durable it's gonna be. And inside is a converter that came with it. Again, it's a $7 pen, came with a converter, so that's nice. I don't know why they spent so much money on the packaging and the velvet sleeve and the plastic case. I think they could have put it into the materials here. The converter is rather small. It's a sliding type converter. Good thing about the converter is it has an agitator ball in it, so that keeps the bubbles and foams out of the ink. And it's just a sliding piston. It sits rather deep into the grip section, so you actually cannot see what the ink level is unless you turn it upside down, in which case you still may not be able to see what the ink level is. So that's kind of a little, I'm gonna say, weak design. I think they could have you know, kept this a little shorter, but maybe they were worried about having a longer grip section to hold without any threads or anything in there. So I guess I understand why it is the way it is, but you know, not ideal to tell how much ink is in the pen. So again, another consideration to think about. The nib, like I mentioned, it's a number 4 nib, and I'm actually surprised that Rotring would make such a decorative nib. And let me try and focus. There's some scroll work parallel to the edge of the nib in the front across the tines. There's a little vent hole, and then it says it has a decorative R on it, like a copper plate font, which is kind of cool. I did not expect it from a modern design company like Rotring. And I kind of like it because my first name starts with an R, so a little vanity on my part, but oh well. The feed and the nib are friction fit, so there's no nib holder, so you can't change nibs out. I haven't tried to pull this off. It's kind of tight, which is good because some pens, some more economical pens, you know, like the Platinum Preppy, the nib can be so loose that sometimes you're wiping the ink off the nib, and the nib will just pop out. So the feed sits well within the shoulders, which is unusual My Delta vintage pen is a little bit like that, but this is almost like the feed is too small for the nib, and I don't know, if that makes a difference in performance. We'll test it out. I'm not gonna ink it. I'm just gonna dip it in some Pelican 4001 blue ink, and we'll see how it works. So just a little dip to test it out, because I want to put in a different ink in this, and that's in the office. So okay, so let's try this out. Let me make sure I'm focused. Okay, so this is the Rotring Surf fountain pen. Excuse my handwriting, I'm trying to squeeze in there with my camera mounted on actually a whiskey bottle box. So it's medium. I'm gonna say it's a little finer than medium, so it's fine medium in my book, and it has the Pelican Royal Blue 4001 ink in it. Okay, and writes very smooth. It's a steel nib, so not a lot of flex. It looks very, very nice when you're looking down on it. It doesn't feel, like I said, it doesn't feel like a number 4 nib. Almost feels like a number 5 nib. So size-wise, it's not bad at all. Writes really, really nice, very smooth. So no skipping, no hesitation. You can see just, and I'll try something with this pen that I don't try with every pen, but given it's a Rotring, I'm gonna try it. So I'm gonna go really, really fast and see if there's any skipping, how good the feed keeps up with the nib. And it's just been dipped, so it's not even, it doesn't even have ink in it. So, ooh. So as you can see, I'm going crazy here, and no skipping, zero skipping. That is amazing for a $7 pen. Excellent, excellent ink flow. Really, really good pen. If you can live with the design, which is very non-ostentatious, kind of cheap looking design, the performance wise, this pen is absolutely fantastic. Line variation, you can get a little bit. That's your no pressure, little more pressure, and that's pretty much maxing it out. So that's as much line variation you're gonna get. Okay, you cannot really split the nib. You're gonna dig into the paper first, but that's pretty much it. So excellent, excellent pen, great starter pen, great daily use pen. If you can live with the design, it's a fabulous, fabulous pen. I would compare it to the writing quality of my Faber-Castell and my Caran d'Ache Duna, and even some other pens like the Franklin Christoph and the Delta Vintage. Maybe not as good as a Visconti, but still extremely, maybe just a slight notch below my Visconti, I would say. But absolutely fantastic. Hope you enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching.